So in the last RC Airboat video, which is RC Airboat Part 2, you should go watch that right now if you haven't seen it yet, we ended up with the airboat working and turning, but it wasn't great because the cotter pin was bending a little in the rudder. So in this video I'm going to fix all that, and I'm going to add some more modifications to make it even better. So I just made this little thing out of wood. It kind of blocks water from splashing up, and the ESC and receiver can kind of hide down in there so they don't get wet. And then the cable can either come out here, or this from the battery can come in, probably the battery coming in, and then the battery will be out here, because it'd be kind of hard to build a wooden structure big enough to support the battery on here while keeping the weight down. So this is it right here. Doesn't look too bad. Yeah, so that's it. Pretty cool. Added a few modifications to the airboat. First, I have this little thing here to protect the electronics from water spraying up, and it holds the ESC down in there, and these can be pushed into it. And then secondly, I have this battery housing, which you can see if I pull it off. It's 3D printed, and actually I got it like perfect, and it fits right in there, and the battery strap just goes through there and connects with the ESC. So that should help it against spray from the water. But other than that, that's pretty much all that I've done. I just spray painted the whole boat, and I kind of ran out of spray paint, so some of it is not spray painted all the way, and I'll get some more spray paint to fix that up. But I've installed this light system with a white LED on the back and a green LED on the front. So when I flick this little toggle switch over here, they turn on. And I know it's not like proper protocol with the red and green on the front and white on the back and all that stuff for the like the government, at least in the US. But the red one was sucking all the power, so the green one was super not bright. So I think it's better like this, so I can at least know which side's the front and which side's the back if it's kind of dark or something. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I still have stuff, like I was saying, like this side that looks super messy and are not painted all the way, so I'll get that finished at a later date. I've also glued on this little GoPro mount. It actually is what the GoPro came on. It's not even one of their actual mounts, but I just hot glued it on so I can put my GoPro Max on there and get some cool videos, which I'll probably be posting on YouTube as part of my playlist called GoPro Max, so go check that out. Also, you'll see another one, which probably is right now. So here's the boat with the few modifications that I made. First, I made this J on the front, which is my YouTube symbol. So I had to display that on there. Secondly, I have these two lights, which you've already seen. They are controlled by this little switch. Turn on. If you can see that. And then finally, obviously the whole thing is black. And there is a GoPro mount. So I'll be testing this out pretty soon with all those new additions. I'm also planning to maybe, instead of using this little coin battery, actually wire it into the 5 volts going to the receiver from the ESC. So that would, I would have to use a resistor to get it down to 3 volts. But I think that could work pretty well. And then I wouldn't have to have a separate battery. If you haven't been following my build of this RC Airboat on my channel before, here is the servo as it is. This is a 45-gram servo, and it turns this piece of wood underneath, which turns this piece of wood, which is the rudder. But what I'm planning to do is make a little bearing here out of this pulley, and have it go out on an arm, which will connect with a push rod going through this piece of wood to the servo, which will be somewhere over here. So I'll get started on that. See you in a little while. This is the setup that I have going right now. It's kind of complicated to look at, but basically when this turns, it turns a piece that is underneath, which connects to the rudder, or will connect. And this servo is glued down here with a push rod connected there. So in theory, this should work pretty well. And I'll use the controller and I'll turn the servo. And you can see it's kind of moving the servo. And it's not working so well over there. So I think what I might do, I might try this out in actual water and see how it works. As you can see here, this works okay. But it's really straining on that little bend that I made. And the bottom piece under there is kind of hitting the sides, if you can see that. I don't know if you can. I just redid this thing where I'm using this coat hanger piece of wire instead of the little flimsy steel wire. And I've had to Dremel it down quite a bit on the edge there to make it fit through the same linkage stopper. But it fits now, and I can show you it turn. It's a lot better. So I think I'm going to try that out instead.